Well, we had a good bit of rain overnight. It's around 50 this morning, supposed to go up to around 70. But we had thunder and lightning for over an hour. It wasn't like just one time. It was like a serious storm. I see Morris up ahead of Stripe. They both came out of the doghouse, so they're nice and dry. That's good. Good morning. Big stretches, big stretches. Hello.
Hello. My battery's gonna be really low. I meant to plug it in yesterday.
I know all about that.
Yeah, somebody forgot to plug in, Ruby?
Yeah, and I was supposed to go to Durham.
Going to Durham.
That could mean a stop at the Target and Cary. Not North Hills Target, but the Cary Target. We'll see. Is there a Lego package for me?
No, I don't think it's Lego. I think they're really tight.
Really tight?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's got to be Legos if it's for me. Thank you. It was rainy and nasty when I came in yesterday afternoon, and I checked the mail, and there wasn't anything. And then Don looked at USPS site because he signed up and he gets like a picture of what's coming. And we decided not to run back out last night. There wasn't anything to go for, but yeah, April's Paradise of Bricks is who sent this package. So let me confirm that it is Legos. It's probably got the red dots in it amongst other things. I'm headed out to my doctor's appointment.
Okay.
I should have enough to get up there and back, but I'll be coming past the Cary Supercharger, so I'll pull in if I feel inclined or the need. This is a doctor's appointment that I had scheduled before the hospital visit.
Right.
And it's also one they won't let Don go in for.
Yeah.
And he's got work to do. And I'm feeling up to driving. So we're going to let Don have a bye on this one. But doesn't mean Don doesn't want to go. He'd wait in the parking lot for me. Yeah. But he does have some stuff he needs to do today. And I feel good enough to go. So it's a win-win.
That's right.
This morning I asked the forecast, and she told me it was going to be 69. So I dressed appropriately. Sometimes when we have rain, the clouds hold the heat in. Now she's saying... I don't know when this is. She's basically saying we're going to get up to 57 now. So she's come down 12 degrees. Well, the current temperature here is 46. So we ain't hitting 57 today either, just saying. They wanted me there 15 minutes before my appointment. I should be there at least 10 minutes before. I'm sure it'll be fine. We did start charging Ruby at noon. So she probably added 35 miles or a little bit more in the 90 minutes she was plugged in. Just provide just a little more cushion on not having to stop on the way home. Good afternoon, Ruby. Yeah, I'm sitting at 148 miles, and there's no way I'm traveling more than 65 total. I am kitty clear in the backup camera and in both side mirrors. This is one of those rare times where the door will not go down. It happens once every 3 or 4 months. I was fooling with the Bluetooth in the garage and my phone, but not... I don't know. I'm going to have to get out and shut it. Like I said, this happens rarely. But of course, always when it's either not nice weather or I'm in a rush. It never happens when I'm just going out to play pogo and I don't care. Plus, you know, I got to re-put the pin back in because I got to get out of my seat. So let's bring up my calendar. Let's click on the calendar notice with the address. and it's showing I'm going to be there at 2:23. I need to be there at 2:35 to give myself that extra 15 minutes they ask for. So I don't need to rush at all. Thank goodness. And you can see that I go past the Carry supercharger and that there's like basically not very many people or no people charging right now. 12 stalls, 10 are available. I used to be so consistent about plugging Ruby in. I would take Johnny and or me out to Taekwondo in the evening. We would get home in the 8 o'clock hour. I would plug her in when I got out of the car and she would immediately start charging. I was very consistent about it. I always did it, blah, blah, blah. And then COVID, and I started not charging her up all the way because I wanted to protect the battery, I guess. Okay, because she did have a little bit of a drop off in the battery, not because, just because. And then, you know, I had that one little issue where I didn't charge but drove a lot of miles, and I had to make an unplanned charge at an inconvenient location. I don't consider the Tesla supercharger inconvenient, at a level 2 charger over at Wake Tech. So I swore I would start plugging her in very consistently, and yeah, I just really had trouble getting back into the routine of it. I just have. I don't, you know, Don and I try to remember, but we're just not in the garage late day like we were pre-COVID, where one or the other of us would walk past the car and go, yep, Mary Ann's driving to downtown Raleigh tomorrow. I should really make sure the car is plugged in if it's not. So it's just been a little harder to remember. I had it set on my phone to remind me every night, and then the alarm was always going off when I wasn't near my phone, and Don was having to turn off the alarm, and typically he couldn't reach my phone because it'd be on the end table, but I'd be like in the kitchen or the bathroom or something. And anyway, we turned that alarm off. So if it was super, super critical, I would turn that alarm on. Because of course, if she's plugged in, she's set up to automatically charge. It's the putting the charger in the car. And like I said, in a normal world where you go to work or you have a set schedule, it's really easy to make it your routine. But when your schedule is all over the place like it is right now, it's just a little harder. I charged for an hour and 39 minutes, and I went from 40% to 56%. You know, Teslafy sends me an email when the charging ends on its own or is stopped by removing the UMC. And so I get to see exactly what it did or didn't do. So in my head, I don't know what 40 and 56% are, but it seems like adding 16% was definitely the cushion I knew it would add in that amount of time. So like I said, I'm good. So I'm navigated to a place 30 miles away, and the navigation is still showing me this up close view, which personally I'm fine with, because if I want to know what the whole thing looks like, I can of course pinch it. I guess defaulting to I would like to know what's near me versus I would like to see the whole route, the entire distance. That is, I think it is preferable to me, but I suspect there are a few people out there that don't like this change. Hopefully not too many. It's positive as far as I'm concerned. So where we get on and off the turnpike here in Holly Springs is where it currently ends. And all of that additional construction I've been showing you is where they're putting in the southern loop, which of course then has to hook up to yes, our Ring doorbell. I need to turn the sound back off on my phone. The cats are up and walking around. Anyway, it's where it's going to hook back in over here after they add it. So, of course, then there's a little bit of construction right there at what will be the new interchange of taking you around to the southern loop.
To do the whole thing over again. What if you don't meet Patrick or Eve cut her off? I know, Johnny. I know.
The lantern that remains is 85 and got you back home. Do you have any idea where it might have been?
Wow.
two men held
Ruby, move me away from that truck.
ambulance headed out to some farm. Daniel Fallow and Jacob Jackson. Can a letter that John here like that draw you back in time? I don't know, Patrick. I consider myself a scientist, and the whole time travel thing makes no sense to me, except that I experienced it. I traveled back in time to 1885 and met you, and here you are.
I'm here at the Duke Medical Building, not too far from South Point Mall. I've got 108 miles. I'm upstairs on top of the parking deck over in the same corner I was when I was here back in December. So there was a good number of empty spaces up here. There was one lower level corner spot, but these spaces aren't very deep. Like, notice this silver vehicle in front of me here where it's basically coming out of the space. If they were another foot deeper, the corner spot downstairs would have been good, but it's just not. Anyway, I'm gonna walk in. Let's get this over with. I'm back in Ruby. I wasn't inside more than 30 or 40 minutes, maybe something like that. They said 3 to 4 days to a lot for the doctor to read the results. I presume if he releases them to Duke My Chart, then he didn't find anything concerning. And if somebody calls to talk to me and schedule an appointment, they probably want to talk about something. So there's nothing I can do. Worrying over it, you know, is not going to help. I hate the slowness sometimes of the medical system, but it is what it is, and we're just going to hope for the best and go with that. Stay distracted while we wait for results. Ruby's still got 107 miles. The car just told me I was going to get home with 25% range left. I am not going to stop at the supercharger. It's nasty out here and there's just no reason. So I'm noticing as I get myself out of the parking deck, and I noticed this on the way up but didn't film it, that every time I go over one of the pre-canned speed bumps, Ruby is telling me to stop, like a little ding and a stop. And I don't know that I remember that behavior from before. So I'm going to go over one here in a minute. I won't go straight. I'll make a circle so that we can all see exactly what she was doing. But when she dings here, when you hear it in a minute, it's going to say stop up on the driver instrument cluster. You know, these are substantial speed bumps and they are painted, but it's not the worst, most jarring speed bump that I've ever been on. So here we go. And she didn't do it that time. Of course. Why would she want to do it when I'm filming? I'll go around. If I have to, I'll go back up to the second floor. There's quite a few cars here, but not a ton of activity that makes, you know, driving around in here seem threatening at the moment. Here's one more. Maybe I should do it for this one. Nope. Huh. Well, if that just don't beat all. So I did come back up to the second floor because I really wanted to try to understand this behavior, new or not new. Here is a speed bump. She did do it that time. She flashed red and stop. I mean, I would hope all she's really trying to indicate to me is that I should slow down. You know, it is a speed bump after all. So I don't know that I remember that behavior before. I could have, but doesn't seem familiar to me. Here's one more before I head back down to exit the parking deck. You know, it could have a little bit to do with how much brake I do or don't apply right before the speed bump. I can assure you that I've not done over 10 miles an hour in the parking deck, and most of the time it's been more like 6 or 7 miles an hour, so I wasn't going fast to begin with. Anyway, always studying the curiosity that is Tesla driving. It's 3:45 p.m. and I am headed straight back to the house. I considered Guardian Angel Apex and decided no, I'll go home and work on my Lego project. And yeah, there's not much traffic out here, so I'm basically hightailed it back to my side of town. Before pre-COVID, there would have been traffic issues, and mid-COVID, they're typically not as bad as they were. But at any point, as you can see, I'm not having any traffic issues, at least not until I hit Highway 55 to travel the last leg into Fuquay, but I'm not really expecting any issues there either. And I'm past the supercharger at this point.
Hollister was still standing by, waiting, her eyes shifting. I'm sorry, Mary. Will you excuse me for a moment while I freshen up in the bathroom? Minutes later, Eve returned to the patient Mary, whom Eve noticed was not standing in the same place as she was when Eve excused herself. She had probably searched.
I did see the Model Y, and it was outside, and it was plugged in. I got the mail. I didn't want Don to have to come back out on the unicycle. He's in the house all warm, I'm sure. I got my pogo playing done. I see a new collection challenge was started. This one does not seem to have some of the hard things in it that the other collection challenges did. I've already completed it on one of the accounts. This Sandy Monroe road trip series, it is just fun to watch. I'm making hamburgers tonight, working on my keto waffles here. Yep, working on my waffles.